Good day. Welcome back to Common Man's Corner. Wayne,
Brian?
and I guess today's going to be kind of a hodgepodge of just what the fuck's going on out there, especially with the social media and everything. And let's see where it goes here. First thing I want to get into is if you go to your social media, be it news, CNN, whatever, Facebook, etc., for all your facts, you need your head examined. That being said, you can go to them to get a general gist of what you're looking for, but do more research into it whenever possible. It's easy to get opinionated with high emotions. I do it on a regular basis. I'll drop the F-bombs as I'm getting worked up over topics, like it's candy, and I got no problem with it. But that being said, a bunch of things have been happening here lately between Facebook and whatever else. Everyone knows about the Fort McMurray fire. If you don't know about it, I don't fucking know how. Anyway, Fort McMurray. 80,000 people, 88,000 people. I'm not going to split hairs over a couple thousand people. Wildfires burning crazily out in Alberta. Not the only fire, mind you. There was like 19 of them on the go at one point in time, and it was retardedly. Half the problems was burning. BC was going up. Chance of burning cities there. But Fort McMurray. Fire hit the city. Actually got into the city and started burning it down. First responders. Wonderful job. First of all, I want to give you credit. When everyone else was running the fuck away, you were running in to take care of the problem. Right? Tip my hat to you and all that stuff. They lost 15% of the city, it turns out, afterward. Day one of the fire. Things getting hot and heated. You know, it's getting pretty big. Threatening some of the outlying area of it. People are on warning, standbys, etc. Now this happens, I don't want to say regularly, right? One guy was saying he's been through 4 or 5 of the big fires like that in the last 30, 40 years, whatever. But you're on warning. Now, like a lot of things, because social media downplays stuff, etc., or overhypes things so much, I believe a lot of the warnings that come kind of get, yeah, but that's just a warning, it's not going to affect me, it's just media attention. Day 2. It's getting pretty bad. Fire's getting bigger, it's getting out of control. If they don't get control of it real soon, they could start losing houses. They're on direct warnings to certain locations within the city or around the city or outlying parts of it, etc., etc. Day 3 and 4, same idea, it keeps going that way. Getting worse. Finally, they lose a few houses. People are mandatory evacuated out of certain areas. And everyone says the same thing. But I didn't think they were going to end evacuating me.
Yeah.
If they're evacuating areas because this thing is a super fucking fire. I mean, this thing is not, geez, it might burn down a couple farmers' fields here. This is burning some serious fucking hectares of land here already.
Yeah.
And there's a chance we hit the city because, they did have city warnings, be prepared to move in case of. I have no fucking clue what most people think be prepared to move means. But usually what it translates to me is have some shit packed already.
Yeah, in the car.
Yeah. I'll know where to go and find stuff if I wanted, if I get an hour or two.
Yeah.
You guys can get a 15 or 20 minute or half hour warning, which is what did happen. But in our society, I think we really do strongly believe in this here. It'll happen to somebody else, never me. Sad, but it happened to you. While this was happening out there, we had a small little fire down here in Pubnico, lost a bunch of acres of land and stuff. But when that happened, it was a Friday afternoon, I noticed it. Friday evening. I went home after I finished work there in a couple hours and I got home. The first thing I did was I made sure I knew where to grab the cases of water, some basic blankets, food, the pets, etc. And I had it mapped out here, and 30-minute warning comes to get out. I'm pretty confident I could have had at least 4 or 5 days worth of water for me and my family and some of the friends, if need be. 4 or 5 days worth of food, some blankets and pillows. Not all the ins and outs, not all the big stuff, right?
But enough to get by for a couple of days.
But enough to survive, so I don't have to be parked on the side of the fucking road, contemplating how I'm going to desalinate or dehydrate or evaporate the water out of the fucking ditch and condense it over here so I can get drinking water for my kids, right? Same thing for food. You may be eating out of a fucking can, but it's better than going 4 days without eating. And let's face it, I don't plan to miss a whole lot of meals, and I haven't missed too many.
Yeah.
If I can help it. Same thing as keeping warm at night or shading sun and stuff. and the pets, because, well, my wife's cats are just like her babies. They use the term fur baby, and with my wife, it's the same thing. So the point is, we were ready for that. Fully intended. I got home that night. I made sure there was an extra couple jugs of water or something like that. Now, understand that if we get evacuated, the fire may or may not hit the area of the house. If it doesn't, but we're still under mandatory evacuation, my animals still need, because I have chickens and different things like that, right? They still need to have food and water. So we made sure I made sure there was lots of buckets of water for the animals to get to. Now, at this point in time, they'll understand something. My chickens are going to fucking cook if it means keeping me, my wife, and kids safe.
Yeah.
Right? That's just the way it's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
At some point in time, my chickens are going to cook in the oven anyway, and I'm going to eat them. This way here, it could just happen if it's a forest fire, but I'd rather lose a bunch of birds than I would.
Yeah.
But I use that for an example.
Yeah.
So the point was, what was happening in Fort McMurray was so prominently happening that when I saw a much, much, much smaller, minute in comparison, start to happen in my local area, I got ready in case of. Right? Just in case of. I didn't tell the wife, oh, get ready, make sure the kids have so many days of this pack, so many days of that pack, but I knew where my stuff was, right? One of the key things, I wanted to make sure I knew where it was, and I told the wife that we have to go in a hurry, that we have to grab the guns. I'm not leaving them at the fucking house. Either for looters, someone who's just simply desperate, or for that matter, the RCMP to fucking decide that they decide
Go to people's houses and
that
take
they're
that
allowed to
shit,
randomly
yeah.
go in people's fucking houses and take stuff.
Yeah, like they did wherever.
Yeah, they didn't have alarms for that. And actually, they sort of did it in Fort McMurray. They're claiming it was only the places that concerned citizens called about. Like, if I called in about my guns, they'd go to my house only.
Right.
But then they had other cases like, well, no, we have video footage of them going into your house, and you specifically did not call them and did not want it, but they knew it was there, so it was their right to go in and check to make sure.
I see.
It's not happening, but it's happening, but it's fuck that crap, not giving them the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, if they're with me and they're locked up and secure, safe properly, then I know where the fuck they are and I know they're safe. So anyway, that was just my thing. Get ready for it. I don't understand with this thing burning at a much, much larger. We're talking apples and fucking oranges. We're talking not even apples and oranges. We're talking like fucking apples versus Volkswagens.
Yeah.
In size difference here. It's just fucking astronomical. That no one or very few people actually got ready to evacuate on the. You have warning that it could happen at any time.
Yeah.
Throw your cases of water, some fucking food in the trunk of the car. You know what? Take your beach shit out of the trunk of the car or whatever else I'm saying, and be prepared for it.
Yeah. People are not too keen on what's going on.
Now, in some cases, it's hard to. I'm not saying it, but you can always be more prepared than what you are now. And being a prepper or being prepared is all about that. Simply being more prepared than you were before.
Yeah.
Right? Throw a couple blankets, a couple pillows, get yourself some 40 jugs of water. For fuck's sakes, dump out the old pop and fill them up full of water from this tap if you have to throw them in the trunk. Yeah, it's not the best way, but it will get you through 3-4 days as opposed to, sitting there screaming on the side of the road that my baby's got no fucking water to drink.
Yeah.
If you have children, you have babies, make sure there's a car that has the diapers and it has the formula and it has, the kind of the key things that make it, that will help stop it from being such a shitty situation.
Yeah.
But right? Anyway, many people didn't. I'm kind of confused why. I'm sure they never will make that mistake again. Some will, but most won't. Anyway, the first house goes up for fuck's sakes, and then you have those that are against Trudeau screaming. What's the government doing for this? This is the chance for the Prime Minister to be the Prime Minister and be right there. Okay, and be right there. And be right there. And just to bring it out here, what the fuck do you mean, be right there? He's not a first responder, he's not a firefighter, he's not medical fucking trained on first responding and stuff like that. Him going to the forest fire would be like sending in fucking Bobo the Clown.
What's he gonna do there?
Right? You can't sit there and spend fucking the last 6 months bashing the guy who's a fucking clumsy, bumbling fucking idiot, in your opinion.
He's not there to rally the troops.
And then all of a sudden ask him to go in and fucking rally the fucking troops and single-handedly fucking piss on this fire like Mighty Man and fucking put it out and stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't understand here, whether you like the fucking guy or not, which is totally irrelevant to me, if the Prime Minister goes somewhere, there's a rather large entourage that goes with him. There's security and fucking aides. This is all a tax on resources of an area. The RCMP, which are going to be working on helping and aiding with the evacuation and dealing with all kinds of fucking things that they're dealing with in these kind of scenarios, would have to then allot manpower to taking care of him. Whether you fucking like it or not, it's going to happen that way. He's the Prime Minister. Right? If you happen to be one of these here fucking idiots that were like, oh, Harper was the greatest thing in the world compared to Trudeau and da crap, Harper got the same fucking treatment. He's gonna get the same fucking treatment. Crutchy got the fucking treatment. Maroney got the fucking treatment. You know, they're all gonna get the same thing. Yeah. Don't think just because you don't fucking like someone, your opinion on that particular matters that much enough to suddenly change it. So if he was to go there, everywhere he went, he'd bring a huge amount of fucking people with fucking vehicle trains going places and coming back and forth, and cameramen and crews and da. It would be a drain on the resources of the area right away. Minutes after that, they hit with, how much is the government giving? Yeah. And he pledged to match dollar for dollar whatever came into the Red Cross. We'll get into the Red Cross in a minute. Sure. Right? Because that's a fucking heated thing, or it couldn't be. If you're semi-smart, it's not a heated thing because you never deal with them. Anyway, he offered that the federal government would match, and that just sent the fucking opposition spinning. I mean, just giving it as if what they're saying equals up to a pinch of coon shit on a dusty day. Right? And by the way, you know, raccoon shit. I'm a country boy here. His pledge of they will match dollar for dollar whatever goes into the Red Cross is above and beyond what the federal government is automatically on the hook for, I should say. Whether it's a Liberal government, or a Conservative government, or an NDP government, or a Green government, or fucking anything. There are laws within Canada on how much they have to give. I think it's like, it turns out to be $3 a person, they have to give 20% or something like that. And once it gets up to $15 a person, they're on the hook for like 85% or 65% of the cost is guaranteed to come out of federal dollars to fix the incident. However much. So for all you fucking wankers out there, and I'm saying it that way, that were sitting there screaming, how much are they giving? How much are they giving? How much are they giving? Shut up. Because the only answer they can give is, we don't know yet. Because the fucking fire isn't even out
going,
yet.
Yeah.
The emergency's not over yet.
It's like
the response isn't even over yet. How much are you giving? What are they going to do? Okay, so arbitrarily, if he comes out and says, we're going to give $200 million. Okay. And it turns out $100 million is needed? Well, fuck, they're on the hook for giving out $100 million for free to a province and to the city and to everything else. Yeah. On the other hand, we're going to give $200 million and it turns out they need $600 million? You guys would be screaming, oh my god, it's already over $200 million and that fucker only promised this much. In reality, all you did was scream and tie up the fucking news and the waves and the internet and the medias with bullshit instead of allowing real news to be happening, which is, this is what is happening. These are the results. These are what's going on. Let's start doing some calculations.
Yeah. So like when I was working at the call center, I'd get people that would call up with something wrong, and they'd be like, after we discussed it and escalated it to somebody else to fix it, the next thing they want to know is how they're going to be compensated. And be like, well, why don't we wait till it's fixed, see what the problem was, and then we'll work about compensation. But I mean, I could compensate you right now. I give you $5, whatever off, but it doesn't really, that $5 ain't going to feel much good to you if your website was down for 2 weeks. Like,
yeah.
Wait till it's done. We'll see what the damages are.
And then we'll deal with it. Yeah, you're not getting 6 months if you lost your website for fucking 2 days.
Yeah,
On the other hand, you're not getting 2 days if you lost your website for 6 months.
That's right. Exactly.
Now, I'm not going to compare Fort McMurray, of course, to the website, but it's the same basic principle.
It's the idea, yeah.
Okay, so you're screaming he didn't go there right away and tie up mass amounts of resources. Then you had all these fucking wankers, and I'm using this way here. Why didn't they send in the army? Send in the military. Get the military. Go military. Before you have the right to turn around and say, go military, sign the military, show me your fucking badge. The one that you get with the cap brass that goes on your beret or your headdress of some sort, or whatever fucking part of the headdress you wear, having joined said military and done your fucking time or doing your time. If you've never put on a uniform for the military, Navy, Air Force, Army, whatever, if you have never supported them in that way by wearing one in the past or intend to wear one, or actually presently wearing one, fuck off with being free to send people in to do jobs that you yourself aren't going to go do. Well, they get paid. They get paid to do a lot of things. They get paid to go to combat. I did 13 years in. I never once was fucking taught how to fight a forest fire, especially when it's raging over thousands of fucking hectares at a time and more. Like retardedly high now, right? Or it got really at the climax of it. I'd never been taught how to fucking stop a city from burning. I've never been taught how to evacuate 88,000 fucking people from a geographical area I've never been in before. Guess what? Most forces haven't either, right? So, just for the record here, send somebody in, send in the people that are fucking qualified. Okay? You need someone to stand shoulder to fucking shoulder to make a presence in a uniform? Yeah, send the army fucking guys in there for it. Combat situations. And you know what? Even many emergency response situations, they are fucking trained to do the job at hand. I've been part of it, you know, big cleanups after Hurricane 1 and all those places and everything else. Or not Hurricane 1. Yeah, we had one, Hurricane 1. They're great for that stuff. But if the whole city of Halifax had been fucking burning, it wouldn't have done any good to send in 20,000 fucking soldiers.
Yeah. Unless
they all got to pee at the exact same time, it isn't going to help any. And that's being sarcastic, yes. So send them in. Once again, every person you send in, you got to feed, you got to water, you got to clothe, you got to house, you got to transport. At a time when there's not enough food and water and shelter and transportation to deal anywhere near with the 88,000 fucking people trying to get out. Okay? Let alone the first responders that can actually maybe stop this damn fire from happening and prevent it from getting worse and making the damage fucking wholesale.
Have they got it under control now?
Well, the city itself lost 15%. I think it was. The last thing I heard yesterday, they lost 15% of the city. Which is, I mean, when you think about it as a city, it's a big fucking amount.
It is, yeah.
But 85% of the city saved, rough estimate, is a pretty outstanding, phenomenal fucking job done by the first responders that actually managed to make it happen.
Yeah.
But once again, you said Trudeau there for photo ops. They're going to pull people off the line to take pictures with them or interview. Bad idea. They have to take people before they go in and delay them going in to do the job for the pictures and the photo ops or the fucking interviews or the how you doing, here's a pat in the fucking back, good job, hoorah, carry on. This is after they go through all the security to make sure they're not going to fucking try to kill the guy, etc.
Yeah.
Or you take ones that have come off the line fighting the fires, etc., and responding, emergency personnel, and delay them from maybe getting an extra half hour sleep, which is greatly needed because most of them are running on like fucking fumes here. Or maybe not get that meal they need to get going, etc., etc. Once again, it would have been a dream to go anywhere near before he did. Now, whether you like the guy or not, I have a whole fucking slew of issues with him and his party's fucking policies. There's a whole slew of them. He didn't do wrong by saying the fuck away. He also didn't do wrong by saying, I'm not giving a direct dollar amount of how much we're giving. We are going to take care of Fort McMurray as Fort McMurray helped take care of the rest of Canada in economic times. That's an honest answer. Anything other than that he would have gave, anybody else would have gave, would have been bullshit. Okay? It would have been a pipe dream bullshit to try to make you fucking feel better so you can sleep better at night or whatever. Those that are pro Trudeau and Liberal would have been, see, he fucking backed it up. Yeah, he promised it. Yeah. Yeah. And those that are against him would have been fucking, down with the fucker, he's lying, he's bullshit, and he doesn't know for sure, etc., etc. So really what you're doing is, if you're one of these here ass monkeys that were directly against everything he said, you'd have been against everything he said or did no matter what. Yeah. Pound sand. Right? Let's get some real news. Oh, speaking of that one, I'm glad, kudos and tip my hat to the girl there, that one of them that showed a video of her riding her horse. She wouldn't leave it behind. And obviously you couldn't get the horse trailer loaded and get him out of there with the truck and the fires and everything else. So she saddled up and rode the fucking horse out. Right? Or a couple of them did and stuff like that. Yeah. Tip my hat, that's bravery. That's a set of kahunas. Whether they're between your knees or on your chest, that's a fucking set of kahunas.
Yeah.
Right? Well, no, because shit can go wrong with a motor and a vehicle pretty fast too, but as a rule, shit can go wrong pretty fast, right, with an animal, and the fact that you're gonna...
Yeah.
So I give kudos to that, right? That took some kahunas. So, once again, Fort McMurray. Here we go. The refugees.
Oh, yes.
No one wants to let these refugee things fucking drop. It's a done deal. It'll be 100 years from now, and some fucking anti-liberal wanker will still be going, oh, it's fucking 25,000 people.
Yeah.
Rah, rah, rah. Every one of them's a fucking terrorist, or everyone's just, well, and then when you call them on, well, not all of them, but we don't fucking know how many are. Well, you know what? I walk down fucking Main Street, Yarmouth, right now. Population, we don't even fucking top 10 grand.
Yeah.
Okay? And I couldn't tell you there's not fucking terrorists in here, for Christ's sakes.
Exactly.
Let's clear that up, right? And I grew up with fucking half the people around here, and I still don't know if half of them are fucking terrorists or not. For Christ's sakes. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You don't fucking know. Okay? And most of the ones doing the screaming are just screaming because they want to scream. They don't actually look into it. Well, they just rushed them in super fucking fast. Yeah, it's not like the EU and United Nations and everything else did any fucking background checks on anybody. They just literally, I'm sure, flew these fucking magic, impervious to bullets and bombs, stealth fucking choppers into the war-torn area, scooped up random fucking people, whether they were holding guns or bombs or fucking suicide vests or fucking babies, somehow took all the weapons away from them, put them in nice fucking clean clothes, and flew them to fucking Canada and said, there, you're processed, you're fucking in.
Good to go.
It's all done like that. Never one of them was already in a fucking camp, some of them for up to years at a time. Never were one of them already fucking medically being treated somewhat. And had background checks to make sure they weren't fucking, never had any of them get another set of clothes put on their body to make sure they weren't hiding, I don't know, fucking suicide vests and 10 pounds of TNT under each fucking boob and an extra fucking 4 sticks of it between their ass cheeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, this stuff couldn't have possibly fucking happened. Because we really want to welcome them, all the bad guys in and leave all the good ones over there. Right? Think on this here for a minute. I don't care if you have a fucking issue with it or not anymore. It's already a done deal. So now you're whining about it. It just kind of makes you seem like an ass. But here it comes. I wish Trudeau would spend as much money on Fort McMurray and our own Canadians as they are on the fucking refugees. Wow, you actually make my fucking head hurt trying to understand how you could think for a second that's happening. Not including the fact that they've guaranteed to match dollar for dollar whatever comes into the Red Cross for Fort McMurray. That's above and beyond what their legal obligation is. Never mind the fact that they are sending military and Chinooks and fucking everything else to help do stuff like that, and they've covered all the costs. Well, I don't know, RCMP, they're paid by the federal government, And there's a lot of fucking overtime when you're evacuating 88,000 fucking people. That's all covered by cost.
That's right.
I'm willing to bet that alone probably already covered the cost what they spent on the fucking Syrians. But let's just keep going here. They okayed for first responders from many, many places to come in and help cover their costs. Paramedics, health responders, psychological responders. Not everyone get paid for it. Many volunteered. Kudos to you. Anybody who volunteered and helped the way they could with the catastrophe of Fort McMurray and trying to help your fellow Canadians and fellow man, and even those from other countries that tried to help us. I tip my hat and raise my glass to you because it's just fucking phenomenal. But many, many, many of it's getting paid for, and those are government positions, and well, fuck, they're still getting paid for it.
That's right.
Unemployment offices getting special instruction on being able to process it faster and get it all done faster for what was happening due to the fire and stuff like that. Those are all employees of the government, all paid their overtime to get done with it, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, at the end of the Fort McMurray fire, they're going to say how much it costs. They're going to say, well, this disaster cost us X millions of dollars. Well,
probably upwards to fucking
right. So
more
I mean,
than that.
I bet you it's going to be less or more than what he's spending on those refugees. For
Easily.
Sure. That's what I mean. Like, they're going to quote
Well,
this huge number at the end of it and say, $10-20 million that we spent on the Fort McMurray accident or whatever, and it's gonna be bucket.
It's up in the billions area, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be a drop in the bucket compared to what we're paying for those refugees. Like
it will be, honestly,
exactly.
It will be. I think the same wankers that were all concerned about spending it on Fort McMurray, they weren't really at all giving a fuck on what was being spent on Fort McMurray, except for the ones that were directly involved. In which case, I believe it's more emotions than anything else going off. What they were really concerned was trying to make Trudeau look bad about the fucking refugees again.
Yeah.
Let's clear a couple things up for you. The refugees aren't living in 5-star hotels with complete waiter and waitress services, fucking 10-course meals whenever they want, with unlimited access to fucking whatever they want to spend. They don't get that magic Canadian gold fucking visa that they can just go zing and spend willy-nilly the way they fucking want to, okay? If you actually look at the conditions they're living in, 85% of the fucking Canadians in this country wouldn't live in the conditions they're living in right now, let alone the fact that where they come from, this is a fucking gold bar step up. Okay? This is going from a fucking cardboard box in the middle of nowhere or a fucking tent in the field to a fucking roof over your head that has some running water and fucking power and clothes. And the biggest part is, no one's going to be coming through with fucking machetes and guns, raping your fucking women and killing your fucking kids.
Yeah.
Okay? So you guys are using this as an excuse to argue it out, but you're just full of shit, okay? The Syrian refugees aren't living off of, once they get out and about and going, any more than anybody else on social assistance and welfare and stuff will in our country.
They get jobs.
They get the bare minimum to live off of. If they can choose to live off that, which is probably an improvement over what they had before, fucking great. Really great. It's a drop in the bucket in our whole economic fucking barrel of chaos that we call economics and money within Canada. It's really just a drop in the bucket. Excuse me. You're really not backing anything up by saying I support Fort McMurray by saying don't support them. Really. I believe a lot of companies are using this as an opportunity for good PR to do the support Fort McMurray thing. Example being a lot of the places are asking, would you like to donate $1 or $2 toward Fort McMurray? And we'll match dollar for dollar up to a certain amount. Only up to a certain amount, of course. So in other words, these big multi-billion-dollar companies, some of that are saying, yeah, we'll give $100,000 toward Fort McMurray. But every dollar you give to these companies, and I'm not saying don't give, because eventually the gift to Fort McMurray is going to help.
I gave $2 the other day.
But really what's happening is you give it to this particular company, they match it, so you give your $2, they'll match the $2 up to $100,000. Willing to bet with a country this size, this many stores or business opportunities around just the Maritimes, let alone Middle Canada, etc., they probably reached their $100,000 in the first fucking day. And that's what they were going to give anyways, $100,000. After that, it's all gravy to them. Because for every dollar you give, so they've matched their $100,000, they're going to charity write-off check for $100,000 from their company. Plus the $100,000 that you guys gave to them, they're giving to Fort McMurray on your behalf. They're claiming that $100,000, and every dollar that comes in thereafter, they're claiming that as well. So in reality, what you're doing is your dollar, or $2 or $10 or whatever you're giving, is going to become a tax write-off for these big companies. I'm not saying don't support Fort McMurray. Like I said, whatever it takes to get the money and the help to our fellow Canadians that are in dire straits, by all means. But the next question I have to ask you is, 6 months from now, when this Fort McMurray thing's settled down some, and hopefully most of it's back to normal and whatever else, knock on wood, are you in turn still going to be as heated about our veterans sitting on the streets because they can't fucking deal with it when they come back and can't deal with stuff?
Yeah.
Are you still going to be dealing or concerned with where the money's going to come from for those extra old age homes, for those elderly that are dealing with the dementia right now, that are running rampant with the overflow, when there's 2 and 3 and 5 year waiting periods to get into these places, and it's one nurse practitioner dealing with anywhere between 30 and 50 fucking people, when it should be 1 to 12 max? Are you going to be fucking so free with those dollars and demanding and screaming that all those taken care of as well?
Yeah.
Make sure all the food banks are fucking full so that no one goes hungry?
Yeah. Instead, they just use this event to push their own little agendas.
Right.
Like,
If you are using an event like this to push your political agenda, to get your own political party in, to get what you like, fuck you. You're not helping, you're an asshole.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you're a man, you're a woman, you're misguided, you're hoping for the best, makes you sleep better at night. You're a dick. Okay?
Ambulance chasing.
Right. So no, the Syrian refugees are not living off a fucking $100,000 a year paychecks that they can just go willy-nilly spend, and if it doesn't go good, they'll get some more, etc. Many of them are living 2 and 3 to a room that you or I said would have stayed in for a couple days at a hotel or motels for that. They're getting free dental. You do realize that many of these people have never seen a fucking dentist before in their life.
Yeah.
The only time teeth got out was usually with an explosion or a fucking rifle butt to the face as you were trying to fight off the enemy soldiers or people taking your fucking places. All these people, why don't they just go back to where they come from? Because it's a bombed out fucking ruin, you shithead. Really, like, how about we just blow the fuck out of your house and your neighbor's house and your street and the bridge that you have to cross to get down the fucking road. Oh, and the local school, after a bunch of the people in the local area get gang raped into it and it's fucking burnt to the ground. Hospitals, oh yeah, first incoming fucking mortar rounds, baby, right through the front door of those hospitals. Fucking teach them a lesson. Cop shop's gone, fire department's gone.
And we're gonna tell you to
gone.
go back
Hospital's gone, restaurants gone. Oh fuck, you got a garden growing? Yup. Drive the fucking tanks right through here, boys, and then mine it to make sure the fucker doesn't go plant there again. But we're only gonna put a couple of mines in so that when temptation comes to feed your fucking kids, you might risk taking that landmine in order to grow enough food to feed your fucking kids. But it won't matter because if we catch your garden, I'm gonna fucking take what I want, eat out of it anyway, and leave you hungry. And then you get to fucking look back and say, well, why don't we go back and live there when we have a chance to get the fuck out?
Exactly.
I feel for the victims of Fort McMurray and what happened strongly. I have donated as well to help. It's sure as fucking going to the Red Cross where I helped send money to help. Because the Canadian Red Cross is a fucking crooked organization who gets caught repeatedly playing on the fucking heartstrings of good folks that want to help out and keeping the fucking money for themselves. But anyway, I have helped out with it. But one of the best descriptions I've seen or heard was, and it's hard to do it when it's your family or your loved ones or you yourself that have lost everything, your home, your pets maybe, your children's fucking birthday gifts because you're 2 days away from it, etc. Right? It's hard to view it that way. But understand what you felt in those fucking hours of terror trying to flee, running out of gas, not knowing if you got fucking food and water for your kids, not knowing if your family's safe, if loved ones are available, not being able to get on the phone because the whole fucking system is clogged down with cries for help and 911, etc. What you felt right there is what every one of these fucking Syrian refugees felt for months and years. Okay? Not having a place to live, having to sleep in a fucking in a gym with hundreds of other people, getting poor rest, not being able to get to see the doctor when you want to get to see the doctor, etc., etc., is what these people felt every day. Now, I'm not trying to say what you guys suffered isn't horrible, and it is. I don't wish it on anybody. And I really hope that the support is forthcoming and fast. And it's fast enough to make things less traumatic and less bad than what it already is, because it's already horrendous. But understand also, if you want a full taste of it, then instead of calling in the military for help, which the Canadians could have done, Army units were ready to roll. They were called in, they were put on standby, they were ready to roll in case of in any way they could help. That was the most efficient way to use them. Which, by the way, just for the record, the federal government just can't go to a province and activate the military and send them the fuck in. It has to be requested by the province. If the province doesn't request it, the Canadian forces will not be sent in by the federal government unless it's a declaration of war level or put under martial law type deal, right? For a situation that happens. That's the only way it could happen. And it's obviously for a state of emergency is not that kind of situation. Anyway, instead of having the guys in uniform ready to drop and run away from their families to come help you, picture all those guys in uniforms with their guns coming to possibly kill and rape and shoot you.
Yeah.
Then go to sleep that night wondering if that door does get kicked in or opened up at 3 o'clock in the morning, is the guys with guns and masks and partial uniforms coming to kill you because you're a different race, different color, different religion, different creed, different belief. You screwed the wrong fucking person. Okay? Add on the fact that you run a real good risk of being dead, or possibly if you did leave, because in Fort Mac it's very difficult to get out. I understand the whole situation. Okay, I've been watching and asking and talking to people that were either there or had loved ones there whenever I could and stuff to find out, to know what it's like. But if I had a full tank of gas living in Calgary, or a couple full tanks of gas, or a truckload, and I drove up there and I found you guys, I could put you into my truck and I could drive away with you and take you to Calgary or Edmonton or wherever and put you on a plane and fly you back to Nova Scotia or PEI or Quebec or wherever you're from, right? The refugees couldn't. They left that fucking camp, that confines, there was a real high risk. In many cases, they'd be dead or worse than dead. And if you want to question what can be worse than dead, be beaten, tied up and restrained, and have your family raped and murdered in front of you. That's worse than dead, I'm sure of it. There's no doubt in my mind. It would be for me.
There are worse things than death.
And this shit happens in these war-torn areas.
Yeah.
So, the refugees of Fort McMurray, and I wish this on nobody, but I hope they understand that when it comes to the refugees that would come in, you experienced a few weeks, or possibly even by the time it's all done, a few months, or maybe even 6 months, of what they've experienced for years, upon years, upon years, and not even to the same degree. Those who lost everything, when you, for the first time, you get back and you look at what used to be your home, and your kids' toys, and your food, and your family photos, maybe your wedding dress, or the wedding ring you're going to give your wife or your spouse, your husband, etc. And the truck in the yard ain't there anymore, or. And it's all gone, because in many cases it is. You can almost guarantee that's even what these kids experience, every one of them. And yet, we don't need to take care of them, we can take care of our own first. We can take care of both.
Yeah, take care of both, exactly.
We're in a fucking country that throws away more food. The food we throw away every day would feed everybody in this country for free. Easily. The food we throw away, just in Canada. Let alone the fucking guys south of the border of us. Okay? So that's a very serious matter here. Okay, if you're really pulling in this here, trying to say they're apples and apples when they're apples and oranges, what you're really trying to say is these are like fucking peaches and truck tires. They're two totally different things here, guys. So, back onto the Red Cross part of it.
Oh yeah, you were saying.
Your money to the Red Cross. I had a guy. He asked me here, and he asked, Wayne, you built your house, and yes, I did actually work on building my own house after I had a house fire here 10 years ago, where I too lost my home and lost all my materials within it and some of that, and all my valuables, and what I counted on as everyday life was suddenly gone. I still had my wife and my family and stuff like that, so that was good. It's pretty devastating. It can be kind of overwhelming even sometimes, right? But I had a place to go back to. I still had family. I still had loved ones. I still had my health for the most part. And there was the fact that it was, Canada, so we're going to survive. There'll be help. Not the fact that no one's trying to shoot and bomb and mine me and rape and pillage and whatever else. So, with this in mind, the Red Cross, this guy here called me up and says, how long would it take to, or how much money would it take to build some of those mini homes? I don't know, 25,000, depending on where you're talking, where you're going, what you're dealing with, etc. The Red Cross, with all those millions of dollars, and had so many years in Haiti, has managed to build 6 mini homes. 6. Where are the rest of the millions and millions and millions of dollars from it? I ain't got a clue. Their administration to make those 6 mini homes look pretty, apparently. So that's what I say about the mini homes and stuff like that, or supporting the Red Cross.
Yeah.
So anyway, on that note, anything else you gotta say about it, Brian?
No.
Alright, well, this one's gonna be a little short then today. I'm gonna have to cut her off here and get going. I just want to throw in 2 cents worth in there. And Fort McMurray from Common Man's Corner, we stand with you.
Yeah.
I really hope things work out fast and timely, as can be expected, hopefully within this here, the parameters of this here. And, well, Canada stands with you, and so don't we. So on that note, this is Wayne.
Brian.
And Common Man's Corner. We'll see you next time.